Hey, this is Ryan from the Black Dahlia Murder, and you're watching The Age of Metal.
Hey everyone, this is Stephanie here with The Age of Metal, and I'm here right now with Ryan of the Black Dahlia Murder. So how are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you for asking. So you are currently on a very late tour right now, headlining tour. Would you like to talk about, the tour a little bit, maybe the bands who are supporting you?
Yeah, so we're on the indie merch tour. This is part 2 of it. I guess we're about 3/4 of the way through the tour now, and yeah, it's been a cool tour. We got Entheos, Artificial Brain, Iron Reagan, Goat Whore, and the Black Dahlia Murder.
Of course.
So all great bands. It's been a real cool package, and definitely met some cool new people on this tour, and definitely a lot of people that we've known for a while too on this tour. So it's been a good one.
Nice. And I know I was reading an interview with Trevor From a little while back, and he was saying that you put a lot of emphasis on the live performance. So for you personally, what is playing live like?
It's like orderly chaos, I guess. I think every night's a bit different, because when you play live, I mean, sometimes you have bad sound on stage, sometimes you have good sound. You're up there doing your stage moves, which are a lot of times you just do the same moves over and over. You don't even realize you're doing it. But yeah, it's always fun. So
Nice.
yeah, up there thrashing about, hanging with the people at the same time, kind of. So.
There you go. And you released Abysmal, not too long ago, just a few months ago, and I've been told that it's your best work. So, well, one, do you agree with that? And two, if so, then why?
Well, I hope it's our best work, but I'm glad that people think that, if some people think that. Yeah, I'm really proud of it. I think it's definitely one of our best albums. I'm not going to say it's our best album because, I think we have some pretty good albums, but yeah, I definitely think it's one of our better albums. I think it's pretty diverse. I think the songs all come together as a whole. And I think it's one of our best albums, I'd say, from front to back, I would probably say. And I think it has like a good mix of, melody and, technical stuff and harsher stuff. So yeah, I think it's a good album.
Nice, and I know that more the lyrical themes, that's Trevor's kind of area, but I know that there was, when I was, reading your the bio of the album and some other interviews, he kept talking about the theme of hell, that he focused a lot about hell. So do you know anything about that, or why he decided to focus more on that theme?
Honestly have no idea, but from speculation, the album's called Abysmal, which, abyss, which could be hell, and the cover, anybody that's seen the cover, it looks like you're in hell with people impaled and burning and whatnot. So just a guess from me, though.
Just a guess. Well, this is a more you question. As far as the guitars on the album, did you write, your riffs in a certain way, or did you do something different, or what do you have to say about that?
Yeah, me and Brian, I guess we're always trying to change it up a little. And that goes from us, like maybe, not doing chord progressions that we've done a lot in the past, trying to change up the chord progressions, or just trying to change up the songs in general. Obviously, the more albums you put out, it gets a little trickier every time. Because, the more material you have, it's like just the more bases you've covered. So, but yeah, we kind of try to look in the past catalog and see what we've done, and try to just pull out, something new every time. So.
Right. And I know that with this album, you were going for more of a raw and aggressive feel. And why do you think that's important, or is that important for death metal in general?
I guess for us, especially nowadays, everything's, well, not everything, but a lot of albums are just super, like quantized. They're just super, it's like almost like everything sounds like too perfect.
Right.
So we're trying to kind of stay away from that really polished sound. We like the sound of like, old school death metal albums. So just, wanting it to sound as real as possible with not like a super ton of editing. I'm not saying there's no editing on our record. I'm not going to say that, but it's definitely not edited to death,
Right,
so
totally.
so yeah, just mainly just going for trying to go for a more real sound that's not, fake sounding, basically.
Right, because death metal is not fake, and it's definitely not perfect, so why?
Yeah. Right, exactly. So
Nice. And, well, this is going to be one question, but I'm kind of going to ask it in two different parts, because you've been going to Audio Hammer for the past several albums, but you also have been going to Ryan Williams, the former bassist. So, one, what is it about Audio Hammer that, or why is it that you keep going back to Audio Hammer? And two, since Ryan is still kind of a part of the band, but he's not musically contributing, how is it still working with him and still having his contribution to the recording of your album?
Okay. Basically, we've gone to Audio Hammer, man, for 4 or 5 albums now. But, we've known Jason and Mark Lewis for a long time, so working with those guys is just really, they're like our, legit friends. So, it's just like just working with dudes that we like. So and they do really good work. This past record, Mark actually handled pretty much all of it, other than Ryan Williams, right, has tracked the guitars for the past 2 albums. He did Abysmal and Everblack, and bringing Ryan in, just, we've toured in the band with Ryan, so he's kind of like, we can't know him any better. And he's from Michigan, so he has no problem, coming up to Michigan, and it allows, us for the most part to just stay at home, kind of, in an area and track with a guy that we're very familiar with and that's very, competent and can do the job. And at the same time, Mark, he comes up to Detroit area too and records the drums. Okay. So I guess in a nutshell, to answer that question, the reason we go to Audio Hammer is because, we like Jason and Mark and they do great work. And the reason that we like Bart Williams, is because he does great work too. He's also a cool guy. And
so I read in another interview of Trevor's that he says that you all kind of write your albums on a crunch so you guys can tour. And what challenges does that face, just writing really quick?
Well, basically, it's kind of like, I'm not saying that we don't ever come into the writing process without any preconceived riffs. Just speaking for myself, I usually have at least something to come to the table with. But on this, but generally, yeah, for the most speaking, we come with nothing. We just kind of like start writing out of nowhere. I guess it's just because you have to get creative like immediately. You have to. It's just like spontaneous. You have to start. It's like, well, we have to have this done. It's like the challenging part, but somehow we've been doing it for a while now. But
Right. No,
so.
Totally. Sweet. And I know, going back to how obviously Abysmal is getting a lot of praise, and I know that it is important to keep overall just writing better records, but especially how, people are saying that this is some of your best work. So why do you think it's important to keep making each album better than the last?
I guess just so you don't get stagnant as a band. It's a bit of a it's hard to do because you have to keep, in one sense, you have to be the band that you are. You have to sound, you got to keep the sound of the band. So you don't want to like change it up like too drastically, but at the same time, you want to introduce some new ideas that keeps like the interest of people, so that, it's just important to be, to keep, I guess, getting better, over the years. It's like, oh, well, these riffs are, different from riffs from 1 to 2 albums ago, or these solos are better from albums, 2 albums ago or something. So I guess that's why, just to get better.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of hard to explain, but yeah.
No, I totally understand. And I know that I think you're the band that people always find new and random underground bands from. So where do you all discover these bands?
Well, a lot of it has to do with Trevor. He's always digging deep, especially in the underground, more extreme metal scene. He's definitely he knows more than all the rest of us do in the band. Not to say that we don't. All of us listen to extreme underground bands, but a lot of it comes from Trevor, like digging deep, and then just us, like I don't know, just discuss. I feel like when you're on tour a lot, and you just have a lot of friends at tour. I mean, you just get to know who new bands are, through word of mouth a lot of time. So
that's interesting.
Yeah.
And I read somewhere that you're working on a solo album. So would you like to discuss that a little bit?
Yeah, I guess that I was very surprised in that news. Somebody asked me if I would ever do one. I was like, yeah, I'll do one. Then it just like came out like I'm doing one. Anyway, yeah, I am working on one. I probably got like 3 tracks written. It's not metal at all. It's totally like,
That's fine.
I don't even know. It's almost like surf rock, country-ish rock. It's not metal.
I don't think.
Not to say that I'm not to say I'm completely abandoning metal. There'll probably be maybe a couple heavier tracks, but I don't know. I just figure, if I was gonna do a solo album, there's a lot of metal solo albums in the world, and that are really great. And I don't know. I'm just like, it's kind of like people have heard me play metal, so I just want to do something different. So
Totally. And I know that obviously you mentioned metal, and now you're mentioning your solo album, how you're kind of exploring new, I guess, styles to play with. So overall, what does music mean to you as a whole?
To me, like, music is just, it's like an endless path. It never ends. You can never master it. There's always something to learn. And I don't know. It's just like an endless path. I will leave this world never having created all the music that I want to create, basically. So yeah, that's what it is to me.
Awesome. And this is the last question. What do you guys have going on next? Can you tell us a little bit about 2016?
Well, we got a tour coming up here in the UK that I believe goes to France and Spain. And I can't really say anything else after that, but I definitely,
Exciting.
Yeah,
Exciting.
definitely a lot more touring coming up. So.
Oh yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. This is Stephanie with The Age of Metal, and Ryan from Black Dahlia Murder had a lot of great things to say about Abysmal, the new Black Dahlia Murder album. If you haven't gotten it yet, then definitely get it. And they have a lot of exciting touring coming up, so keep up on that and stay metal.